You know that feeling, right? You spend years in language classes, you can ace the tests, but the second you have to actually speak to someone, you just freeze up. Well, today we're going to take a look inside an AI language app called Praktika. We're going to explore the pretty amazing tech it uses to bridge that exact gap, to help people finally build real speaking confidence, one conversation at a time.
This quote from one of Praktika's co-founders, Adam Tureyev, really just hits the nail on the head. For him and for so many others, learning a new language isn't just a hobby. It's not about grammar, it's about opportunity. And that very personal drive is the engine behind all the technology we're about to dive into.
So what is the core problem they're actually trying to solve here? Well, it's something the founders of Praktika knew all too well from their own experiences after immigrating. They call it the real-world fluency gap. And it's that incredibly frustrating space between knowing a language and being able to use it with confidence.
I think this is going to feel really familiar to a lot of you. On the one hand, you've got all that classroom learning down pat. You can read, you can write, no problem. But on the other hand, you're in a real-life meeting or just trying to order a coffee, and the words just get stuck. This is the exact gap they decided they had to close.
And that's where Praktika comes in. It was literally built from the ground up to be that bridge. It's for all the students, the professionals, the immigrants, anyone who needs to turn all that textbook knowledge into actual, practical, everyday speaking skills.
Okay, so how did they actually build this bridge? Well, it wasn't about just creating one single clever chatbot. No, they went way beyond that. They built a whole multi-agent system. So you should think of it less like a single tutor and more like your own personal team of AI specialists.
And here's what that team looks like in action. You've got 3 specialized AI agents all working together for you. There's the lesson agent, the student progress agent, and the learning planning agent. Each one has a totally different job, but the key is they're always talking to each other. So let's break them down.
First up, the lesson agent. This is the AI you're actually talking to, face-to-face, so to speak. Its whole purpose in life is to make the conversation feel completely real and unscripted. It's not just following some rigid plan, it's mixing a tutor's personality with your own goals to create a totally natural back and forth.
Now, while you're chatting away, this agent is working silently in the background. The student progress agent is kind of like your personal performance coach. It's constantly tracking your fluency, your accuracy, and any little mistakes you might be making over and over again. And all that data creates this constant feedback loop for the other 2 agents.
And finally, you've got the long-term strategist, the learning planning agent. This is the big picture thinker. It takes all that data from the progress agent and uses it to adapt your entire learning path. It's the one deciding what you should work on next, making sure your journey is always as efficient and personalized as it can be.
Okay, so a team of AIs is super cool. But how do you make it actually feel, well, human? This is where the magic really happens. Let's get into the subtle art and design that makes these conversations feel less like talking to a program and more like a real live exchange.
I mean, just think about it for a second. What's the real difference between talking to a person versus talking to a basic chatbot? It's not always about what they say, is it? So often it's about how and when they say it. It's all about the timing.
And here it is. This is the secret sauce. Most AI systems try to guess what you're going to say and load up all the context ahead of time. Praktika does the exact opposite. It listens to you completely, then it processes what you said and pulls up what it needs to respond. It's a subtle shift, but it's so powerful because the AI reacts to what you actually said, not what it thought you were going to say.
This quote from the founder just nails why this is such a game changer. The AI responds to your mistake right now, in the moment. That little difference in timing is everything. It's what makes the tutor feel attentive and present instead of robotic and scripted.
So, we've seen the clever architecture, we've seen the subtle psychology. But does all this fancy tech actually lead to better results for the learners and for the company? Well, let's look at the numbers.
I mean, just look at how fast this technology has evolved. It's incredible. They went from the first models that made conversations just start to feel real to a new generation that brought in more reasoning and even emotional nuance. And now they're at this multi-agent system that can handle seriously complex reasoning at a massive scale, making everything better and more efficient.
And here's the proof in the pudding. When they rolled out this new, more attentive memory system, day 1 user retention, so the number of people who came back the next day, shot up by 24%. That is a huge number. It proves that users didn't just notice the change, they loved it. It made the whole experience stickier.
And it wasn't just retention. Pretty much across the board, every important number started going up. More people finished the setup process, more people converted from a free trial to a paid plan, and revenue literally doubled in just a few months. It's clear proof that better tech created a better experience that people were willing to pay for.
So, what's the big picture here? When you zoom out this whole journey, from a personal frustration to this super sophisticated AI system, it's about so much more than just mastering verb tenses. It's really about what that new ability unlocks inside a person.
This final quote just captures the mission perfectly. The end goal here isn't fluency, not really, it's confidence. The technology is just the tool. The real end goal is to empower people, to help them feel capable and totally comfortable when they speak, no matter where they are in the world.
And that leaves us with a pretty fascinating thought to end on. This technology was built to learn a language, sure, but that core idea, an AI that truly listens before it responds, you could apply that to so many other things. So, what could you learn? What could you overcome? If you had a dedicated teacher for anything that was always truly listening.